All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Taylor Muller with the Garden State Film Festival, and I am very excited for tonight's interview. Tonight, we are talking about the film Solidarity, and I am joined by writer, director, and editor Mark Mazzio, and the director of photography, Dean Titoli. How are you both tonight?
Doing well.
Yeah,
Good.
great.
Perfect. So before we jump into the interview, I'm hoping that you can tell me a bit about yourself, your background in the film industry, and then we can dive into, the background on the film.
Yeah, I started making movies when I was like 10 years old, just with the neighborhood kids and a camcorder on VHS. That's how old I am. Um, uh, and just kind of kept doing it through middle school and high school. And I actually met Dean in middle school, and we made movies together back then.
Amazing.
Um, and I've worked professionally, corporate videos and reality and stuff like that. But my main passion is the creative work that we do in these sort of films.
Amazing. Thank you. And Dean, what about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, similar story. Started out with making uh, movies with my toys in my bedroom, and then growing to making them with other people, and had a passion for it, and stuck with it through college. And now I've been with a production company for 10 years, full time. So I've done that, and then on the side, Mark and I do narrative projects. Then that, like you said, that's where the passion is in our narrative work, and I love doing it.
Amazing. Thank you. So I want to talk a little bit about your film. So if Mark, you want to start off and give us, or if you can offer a bit of background, tell us a bit of the storyline, that would be great. And then if Dean, if you want to jump in afterwards and give us any information, that would be awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So Solidarity. It's about these two people in an office, and they find out, or there's like a rumor that there's going to be budget cuts, and so they decide that they're going to work together in solidarity to kind of try and save their jobs. So, they're very worried about getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I actually wrote this because we had another project that we were doing that was completely unrelated, and we had the office location, um, and then that project kind of fell through, and we decided, well, we have this location, so we might as well use it. So I just kind of wrote Solidarity to use the location.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it the original basis of it sort of started with I wrote this like sci-fi script like a very long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was not something that we could ever like do with like limited resources, but it's always sort of stuck with me as like one of my favorite things I've ever written. And the opening of the movie is the same sort of opening where she's pulling the USB drives, and that's
Okay.
just sort of like her job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of took that from there, but obviously went in a completely other direction, with something that I hope is pretty topical. There's a lot of talk about people unhappy with their work situations and things like that. So hopefully it's a story that people can relate to, and people can find enjoy it for the humor and the drama and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Dean, do you have anything you want to offer as
I don't
well?
really have, no, I don't really have much to add to that.
No. Okay. So I did watch
That's it.
the short, and it was very good. I'm wondering what the filming process was like for the both of you.
Do you want me to take that one, Mark? Start that one. So, like,
Sure. Yeah. So like I said, we had this location for one day. So it was kind of a long day. It's like a 6-page script. So think how long was it? Like 10 hours we shot or something like
it was
that.
like ten on the dot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had planned for 12 and actually got it done pretty early. But we do a lot of like pre-production work. So we kind of go in, and you have the plan so that you can sort of throw it out, and you still
Mhm.
know what you're doing, kind of thing. But yeah, is we were working with some of the actors we had worked with before, some of them we hadn't, so it was kind of fun to like have that kind of combination. And we had a nice, like, very small crew where we kind of worked together
Mhm.
very efficiently. And yeah, it was sort of just, go, go, go the whole time, and we got everything in.
Very nice. So I know you just touched a little bit on your cast and crew. People you've worked with before, how did you find these individuals and what made them a good fit for your film?
Yeah, so the lead actress, Melanie, we had not worked with her before, but she was recommended to us from one of the other actors. And it's actually kind of interesting. I told Dean this, that like I didn't figure out the character's like arc until we
Mhm.
met with Melanie and talked to her about it. Because then seeing her and seeing some of her like acting samples, I was like, oh, now like I sort of figured out what the character arc was just from seeing her. So, and I don't know if I would have ever. And it's weird because like I wrote it and it's there,
Mhm.
but it's like I don't know if I ever would have figured it out if we didn't meet with her. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I think definitely helps the film, obviously.
Absolutely.
Um, and then the Darwin character is played by Matt Schmidt, who we actually he was involved in the other project that we had that fell through, but we've
Okay.
known him actually for a very long time, and he's does a lot of acting, and he's actually in like a series of Wawa commercials right now,
Oh,
which is
wow, really?
pretty exciting for me because
Very cool.
Wawa fan,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, and so yeah, he's the one that recommended Melanie to us.
Okay.
And yeah, I think he, I kind of wrote the part for him, so it sort of worked very, very perfectly with
Mhm.
that. And then the third character, their boss, Mr. Frost, is played by Patrick Harity, I believe is how you say his name. Sorry, Patrick, if you're watching. Um, and we had worked with on a couple other projects. We originally found him through a casting site, and he's like excellent at like any of these like sort of like older dude roles that I got. Like he's really good at playing them, and like, and it's like I'm kind of writing characters that are like people I know from around Jersey, basically, and
Mhm.
like, and he's really good at like hitting those character notes, and so I really enjoy working with him. And yeah, like I said, we had a nice small crew. I'll let Dean talk about the crew. That's more his area.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and Patrick's just an awesome guy too. I just want to
Yeah.
put that out there. But the cast was really really super easy to work with on this, which was helpful. The crew was just made up of some friends basically, and former coworkers, like people that I had worked with in the past, and it was tough. It was tough working with just like one lighting guy and one audio guy,
Mhm.
because we had a lot to cover. But I was really lucky that the guy who was working with me on lighting kind of like had a similar idea of what we wanted it to look like, and was able to make it happen in a way that wasn't everybody like sitting around waiting for setups to happen.
Yeah.
And like Mark said, we really thought about like shooting, because we knew we only had the location for one day. Like I knew that we had to design our setup so that like each setup could be, all of our coverage could be basically done in one setup with like minor tweaks, like a card here or a light there just to like fill in eyes or whatever. But I had a very clear idea of what I wanted to do ahead of time, which really really helped.
Very cool. Good. Well, I know that we just talked about the filming process. I'm wondering if this was filmed during, COVID at all with the ongoing pandemic. Did you have any effect from that on, the shooting process of your film?
Not really. We shot this actually just this last August.
Okay.
So by this point, kind of everybody's little more
Love
comfortable
it.
with things, and a little more. So we didn't have to worry about it too much for this one. We had
Perfect.
other stuff. We did something in like November of 2020 that was like
Mhm.
sort of right after all that, and so with that we were very cautious and took all the precautions and everything. But yeah, for this one it didn't affect it too much. We had a little bit in mind, worried about it, but not a
Mhm.
major factor.
Definitely a bit easier with it being a bit more fluid. So that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, I am, the film brought on a lot of things, Mark, you were mentioning before, hoping that the audience relates, to some of the humor that's mentioned in there. I know that budget cuts was a theme of the film. What are you hoping? Are there any other points that you're hoping the audience gets out of this? What are you hoping that feelings that are evoked and anything else?
Yeah, I always, when I make stuff, I'm always sort of trying to figure out a way to make something that is both funny and very
Mhm.
sort of emotional and like gets at you it that way. And I hope that the message here is it's obviously in favor of like worker solidarity and
Mhm.
things like that. And I hope people sort of just kind of take that away from it, that things do, and not even just necessarily at work, but like when we work together, when we do things together, we get better outcomes
Absolutely.
than going alone.
Very cool. Thank you. So I know we're nearing the end of our interview a bit, but I wanted to touch on and just ask, our filmmaker, I know you both are from New Jersey, but what made you submit your film here to our Garden State Film Festival? And just how does it feel? Will you be joining us in March?
Yeah, we'll be coming up in March. We just booked our hotel rooms actually,
Perfect.
so we'll be there for the whole weekend.
Great.
And yeah, we're from New Jersey, and you're talking about like New Jersey film festivals. Garden
Mhm.
States is as big as there is, so it's always been we did get in a couple years ago, but because of COVID, it was virtual. So
Okay.
this will be our first one where we're coming in
First in
person
person.
and having a screening. So we're definitely
Awesome.
very excited about that.
Good. We're excited to have you. Do you have any plans to submit another film in years coming?
Oh,
Anything in the
absolutely.
works?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just sent Dean a script actually today. I don't know if it's anything, but it's so that could be something we submit next year. I don't know. We'll
Perfect.
see.
Yeah, you'll be here. Yeah, we'll definitely be submitting in the future.
Awesome. Good. Well, we look forward to that. Perfect. So I'll just do a bit of a wrap up. Solidarity will be screening at our film festival coming up at the end of March. The weekend is March 23rd through the 26th. Solidarity will be premiering at the Jersey Shore Arts Center on Saturday, the 25th. And that film block is from 2:30 to 4:45. So for our attendees and our guests that are tuning in, please come by and check it out.
Awesome.
Perfect.
We'll
Awesome.
see
Well,
you
thank you.
there.
We will see you there. Thank you both so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you next month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see
thank
you
you.
then.
This is great talking to you. Thanks.
Awesome. Of course. Well, take care until then.
All right, you too.
All right. Thank you.